Hey, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Kakadash. It's your brother Elder Bishop Ayathon back at you with another video. This it's gonna be a quick one. We'll see how the spirit go. So the elder from Texas, Bunsapod, had sent me a link to the article right here. And it says fund freeze, ATM banned. In effect on August 1st, and millions of Americans will have to use their computers for service. So when you read that, the first thing you think of course, is the MOTB. And we have to say MOTB because the algorithms on YouTube, they are on a seek and destroy mission for any videos that are warning the people about the mark of the beast. That's what the MOTB stands for. Mark of the beast. And you might say, that's all you guys talk about, the mark of the beast, the MOTB. Every video that I saw we talk about, well, that's the next milestone. And my answer to that would be this. Noah was prophesying for 120 years, says the scriptures. 120 years, he's out there prophesying about the same thing, that the Lord was going to cause rain to fall upon the earth. So for 120 years, he was prophesying about the same thing because that was a milestone. If you don't know what the word milestone means, let's look that up. Milestone meaning. Milestone. Let's hit play.
Milestone.
Okay, I thought I was going to read the definition. A milestone is a significant event, stage, or turning point in someone's life. Now, would you not say that the flood was a significant turning point in people's lives at that time? Yes, that was a milestone. That was a milestone prophetic event, meaning it had a significant change. And that significant change was it destroyed the world with flood. Didn't destroy the earth, but it destroyed the world at that time. So the MOTB is another milestone. World War III is another milestone. The time of Jacob's trouble, that's another milestone. Those are milestone events. So yes, we're going to keep talking about them over and 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 over again until it comes to pass. All right? Because pursuant to, what is it, the book of Habakkuk, at the end it shall speak. There's going to come a point where we're not going to have to prophesy about it because you're going to look out your window and you're going to see it. Right? And the Lord said what? He said, in their affliction, they shall seek me early. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean they're going to get on a ladder and climb up to the heavens, or get on a plane, or they're going to go in Waze or Google Maps and say, get directions to the Most High so they could go find him? No, they're going to be looking for the prophets, the men that have been repeating this over and over and over and over again. Now, when I opened this lesson, I went to my Bible app, right, that I go online, Bible Gateway, and this scripture just popped up. Jeremiah 6:19. It says, "Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people." Now, the evil we're talking about now is the MOTB, which is also known as the time of temptation, because that's going to be the hour of temptation. That's going to be a huge temptation. The scriptures even say if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect, because the way they're going to come with it is there's going to be so much happening, so much turmoil. People are going to be hungry. They're going to use fear to scare people into taking it, but it's going to be extremely, extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? Damn. It's going to be, it's going to be convincing, very convincing to take it. Very convincing. And it's not going to take much to do it. Look at the jab, the dart, C-19. They just threatened people with their job. They didn't threaten their food supply, you know. They just threatened them with their job and that they might get sick. And people went and took a dart that was untested, you know, because out of what? Out of fear. So it says, hear, O earth, behold. Now this is Jeremiah. Now how did Jeremiah what was Jeremiah? He was a prophet. Jeremiah even said out of his own mouth, the prophets that have been before me prophesied against great kingdoms. So Jeremiah was out there prophesying. So when he says, hear, O earth, he's prophesying. He's warning. Just like the men of the Lord do. Just like we do. The prophet's job is to warn. So you're going to repeat the warning over and over and over again. That means your ass better listen up. And if you don't listen up, that's on you. By this time, what is this, July 2026. If you don't know what the MOTB is, the mark of the beast, then that's your ass. You know, at this point in time, all this information out there, that means your head is stuck far from truth. You're just totally gone. You're out there in the world. And look, there are some people that were just created just to be destroyed. There's people out there that are created just to be missile food. Because in the book of Isaiah, it tells you that the people will be fuel for the fire, for the nuclear fire. So some people were put here just to be kindle and firewood for the missiles. Because in the same book, Isaiah, it describes the destruction as a great sacrifice. As a great sacrifice. I believe I'm also thinking about Habakkuk, right? When it talks about the sling stones. Look it up. I'm not going to go to it. Look it up. Look up sling stones. And you're going to see it's talking about it refers to the nuclear destruction as an altar. And the sling stones are the missiles. And when you go into the Hebrew and you look up that word sling stones, it says a metal projectile. Now, come on, man. What the hell is that talking about? Look it up yourself. Don't believe my words. Look it up. So it says, hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people. Matter of fact, let's just go to it. Because I want to make sure I said the right thing. Right quick. It's good to say prove all things. So sling, I believe it's Habakkuk. Oh, it was Zechariah. My bad. Zechariah 9:15. Where is it? So I think go to tools. Okay, Zechariah 9:15. Matter of fact, let's read it real quick. It says the Lord of hosts, right? All caps. That's another thing. If you don't know his name, you're gone. If you don't know the Lord's name, that's the key to salvation. And if your leader, your teacher, whoever is telling you that is not important and you accept it, then you're just out there. Okay? You're just out there. The Lord of hosts shall defend them. Even Moses, we say this all the time. The first thing that came to his mind when the Most High spoke with him, had to speak, the first question that came to his mind, the very first question is, who should I tell him? What's your name? Who shall I tell him that sent me? Come on, man. Amos, the Lord said that there's no other people so nigh to him. The word nigh means close. You know, like the way you know your woman, you're nigh, that's nigh. You know her intimately. So if you know somebody intimately, the Most High intimately, wouldn't you know his name? It's common sense, man. That's why you kind of get pissed. You don't get pissed, but it's like, damn, the stupidity of people. But we got to remember, right? The Most High put blinders, and that's why you can't get mad. Like I said, some people are just missile food. It is what it is. So it says, the Lord of hosts shall defend them, and they shall devour and subdue with sling stones. The sling stones are talking about the missiles. And they shall drink and make a noise as through wine, and they shall be filled like bowls at the corner, as the corners of the altar. Like when you kill a sacrifice in the altar and you have the bowls that collect the blood, is referring to this destruction as a huge sacrifice. Now let's look up sling stones, right? So that's Zechariah, sling stones. Okay, so this is sling, right? Also a door screen as if slung across. Okay, so something that was slung. So the missiles, the majority of a missile, when you see it, the majority of that the length of it is the fuel that sends it across the distance. Okay, so that would be how it gets slung from one end of the earth to the other. Back in the day, it was the scriptures also call it an arrow. Arrows get slung, right? You pull it back in a bow and you let it go, and it gets slung. So let's go back. Stones. Okay, common stone, stone of material, tablets, marble, hewn stone, precious stones of fire, stones containing metal, tool for work or weapon. Do you see this? Stones containing metal or tool for work or weapon. Plummet, stones of destruction also made of metal. Come on now. So what are the sling stones talking about? It's talking about nuclear missiles. All right. So back to Jeremiah, it said, "Hear, O earth, I will bring evil upon this people, bad times, even a fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it," just like they did with Noah. All right. And they doing today with the prophets of the Lord. Because we're going to keep repeating about the MOTB. All the signs are here. Here's another one. We're reading one of the signs right here. All roads are leading to the MOTB. It must happen before Yahushua comes. All right? When Yahushua was here 2,000 years ago, he could have took out the Roman Empire. He told Pilate right in his face. He could have taken them out. He could have taken out the entire Roman kingdom. He could have shut it all down. But there was prophecies that needed to come to pass. And one of them was he had to be sacrificed. So before his return, there's other prophecies he has to wait for. One of them is the MOTB, the hour of temptation. So back to the article, it says fund freeze, ATM ban effective on August 1st, and millions of Americans will have to use their computers for service. So when I saw that, I said, oh, there we go. We fast forwarding. Trump did call it Operation Warp Speed. Operation Warp Speed during the C-19, right? It was enveloped inside all the executive orders. People didn't pay attention to it, of course, because they were distracted by the virus. But Operation Warp Speed, the way he delivered it, he delivered it as Operation Warp Speed, was an operation to deliver the jab quickly and effectively using the army and whatever methods to save the American people. But Operation Warp Speed didn't stop there. That was a Trojan horse. Operation Warp Speed is the digital revolution, right? The digital revolution. Part of that digital revolution was making people part of the digital system. That's why if you dig into the C-19, the jab, there's things in there called nanobytes, luciferase, and other things inside of it. That's why I came up with the term Windows 19. Because basically what these people did is they injected an operating system into the bloodstream. And it can be controlled. It could be controlled with waves. 6G waves. 6G waves are literally created to interact with flesh. They pass through your flesh. They use your body as an antenna. That's to pave way to the MOTB, because the people are going to become part of the system. Now, every single part, in order to work with the infrastructure, right, it needs an interface. The reason why you have to get new cell phones every 2 years, the old ones get outdated, and eventually you can't use it anymore because the technology that's out there is so advanced that phone cannot tap into it. So if you got an old phone, you cannot get on 5G or 6G. If you got a really old phone, you can't get even on 4G. You know why? Because that phone does not have the proper interface, meaning a phone has an antenna inside, right? A phone has an antenna inside which catches a signal, the 5G signal, the 6G signal. Now, every time new technology comes out, you have to upgrade the antenna inside the phone so it can be compatible with the technology that's out there, with the waves they're putting out. So they have to do the same thing with people. They have to put something inside of you so you can interface with the matrix. That's going to be the MOTB, that little capsule that goes inside your body. And they experimented with it with the jab. But again, it's an interface. It has to be put inside of you in order for it to work correctly. Just like anything out there in the world that needs to get on a 5G. Either you need to have a Bluetooth capability, which is some type of interface inside your phone, in your car, whatever you want to connect it with. It's got to have Bluetooth capability, meaning it's got to have an interface built into that device so it can connect to the Bluetooth. People are going to need an interface so they can connect to the matrix and the digital system. That will be the MOTB. All right? So sleep if you want to. First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. You got the children of the day. You got the children of the night. Now, if you're part of the children of the day, you're already up on this. All right? So I'm not going to spend too much time in the article. I mean, it's obvious. ATM ban. Now, when I read this, I thought, okay, MOTB. And then at first I thought it was fake news, because I was saying to myself, they can't just ban a bunch of ATMs like that just out of nowhere. There's got to be some type of major event happening to where people accept it. So as I read deeper, it's going into well, let me read more. It looks like it's going into just the ATMs for cryptocurrency, which, okay, that sounds more like it, because if this was a case, I think it would have been on major news network, not these newspapers. But because if I go here, there's a ban on crypto ATMs, you know. But let's go back here because maybe I'm wrong. So let's see. Millions of Americans will soon have to rely on their computer for transaction as a sweeping ATM ban comes into effect. Okay. This ban is aiming to crack down on scams. Of course, problem, reaction, solution. Ordo ab chaos, right? You create a problem, you offer the solution. So the problem here is there's a lot of ATM scams. What's the solution? Remove the ATMs. What's the real reason? Well, you and I, if you're in the know, you already know. We know the real reason why they're doing this. What do ATMs dispense? They dispense cash. What's the plan? A cashless society. They got rid of the pennies. They're getting rid of coins. You see somebody with coins now with quarters, or paying with quarters, you know, or something came out to $3.54 and they're over there counting pennies and 2 quarters and nickels and pennies. They kind of seem prehistoric nowadays. That's like a prehistoric way of paying now with all this digital stuff out there. You can pay with your phone, you know, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, Android, you know. So this is just steps closer. The ban is aiming to crack down on scams involving ATMs. I mean, why didn't remove the ATMs long time ago then. This has been going on for years. And now the scams are a lot less because people just do everything off the phone. So you got to learn how to, Corinthians, we are not ignorant to Satan's devices. You got to have the eye salve. When you read this, okay, I see what's really going on here. So certain kinds of ATMs will soon be banned in one state, and the machines have been removed by the December 31st. The ban is targeted, okay, so it's cryptocurrency. The ban is targeted common cryptocurrency scams, which disproportionately affect seniors and other financially vulnerable populations. I'll be honest with you, I don't know one senior citizen that uses cryptocurrency. They count in quarters and nickels. But whatever. I guess they're going to the ATM. Yeah, but they don't. Elderly people don't do cryptocurrency. That's new school. Come on, son. So let's see what's this here. But still, see, you start slow. You know, it's gradualism. You start slow. You start removing little bit things that's not going to make too much of a big wave, or it's going to affect mostly people that don't have too much power. I mean, what are a bunch of senior citizens going to do? They're going to start a revolt? Nah. So you start there and you build your way up. And then you start, you know, come up with some other problem. And then you start removing more ATMs and more until they're all gone. I mean, that's the plan, right? Yeah, so we don't even need to read anymore. I was going to, but the spirit machine mandate, you won't be able to make deposits at certain ATMs ever again, starting October 1st. Let's see what going on here.
Sort of way to finesse the system. My name is Raymond Trapani, Chief Operating Officer, Central. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be a criminal. If I could have put it in my yearbook, I would have put, I want to be a criminal. Things have changed. Nowadays, you got to figure out some sort of way to finesse the system. My name is Raymond Trapani.
See, that's how they do it, brothers and sisters, right? It's called revelation of the method. What's the other term that revelation of the method? Forgot the other term. Revelation of the method. Basically, when they tell you what they're gonna do and how they're gonna do it before they even do it, you know. But they'll put it like in a documentary or a cartoon or a movie, or it's a comedy, and it slips by people, which is not too hard to do. It's, you know, it slips under the radar. So they do like this Netflix specials about career criminals who target, you know, ATMs and steal cryptocurrency, and then it becomes a fad. You got more and more shows about it. Now people in their mind already, now they're watching all the stuff about people stealing your money out of ATMs and scamming and hacking your digital wallet and all that. And now it's going to be a lot easier to start selling them a solution, right? This is how you do it. This is what the devil does. He's called the devil because he's a deceiver. He works on your mind. That's his power right there. Let's go.
Chief Operating Officer, Centratech.
Our pitch to the world was that we were going to create a debit card where you'd be able to spend your cryptocurrency in real time.
It's an electronic money.
Something about Bitcoins or something.
Experience in my life. We didn't know anything about this business, but it didn't matter at all.
To issue a card with Visa on it.
I know details about that. I can't give you direct answers on that.
It just didn't make sense. Things looked funny.
They have nothing. So the whole thing is to now make themselves as legitimate as possible.
It was very suspicious. I started noticing that things were changing on their website.
The pictures didn't even look like.
Yeah, so they're going into how they're scamming people. They need to watch this. That's it, brothers and sisters. I think that's it. Lord's will, this was edifying, and shalom.